week will Going Green and Healthy increase your profits?
Would you pay more for a house that had used natural paints and natural products?
Yeah.
Would you? If I would.
You wouldn't.
£100,000 more?
No.
Like any business, but especially in the cutthroat world of property development, profit matters. But tonight's developers not only hope to make money, but they also hope to make a difference. JP Fraser and Julie Cave want to do an environmentally friendly development, but they've chosen an unlikely property for the job. An unremarkable 1970s flat in the commuter belt of suburban Surbiton. Across London, yoga teacher Claire Harrigan wants a healthy house free from toxins. But she's chosen a 1980s terraced property bang in the heart of East London. Claire believes that a building can make you ill, so she's on a mission to make this development different.
Health is wealth, so you can't really put a price on this. If you're dead, then it doesn't matter how much money you've got, because you can't spend it.
Claire is sure her healthy house can earn her a good profit. She's confident it will be the next big thing.
I've seen a great rise of organic food, so I think that there is perhaps a niche market for organic paints and natural plasters, and I hope people will start paying attention to what they're actually using in their buildings.
Claire bought this, her first development, with money from an inheritance, but she's been working on it for 4 years already and is getting nowhere. Now she's determined to get it finished in time for her birthday 4 months from now.
Yeah, welcome to my building site.
This must be the longest development in the universe of a house this size.
Yeah, probably.
And
But it would be lovely when it's finished.
Yeah. What do you think the main reason for it taking such a long time has been? Is it because
my concept gets better and better as the years go on.
So do you have a schedule of works and a plan to work to with this?
For me, it just doesn't happen like that.
Right.
I wish it would. I wish I could follow a formula, but when I feel like knocking down a wall or doing something, I just get my hammer out and do it.
In the 4 years since she bought it, Claire and her hammer have knocked down almost every wall in the 3-bedroom house. The ground floor used to have a garage, bedroom and downstairs loo. But down came the walls to create an open-plan dining room, chill-out zone and kitchen. Upstairs, the open-plan living room and kitchen disappeared to be replaced with one enormous bedroom suite. And on the top floor, she's knocked 2 double bedrooms into one. But knocking through all these rooms could seriously devalue the property. And what's even more dangerous is Claire's done it all without taking any professional advice. Is that how you cut through the joists and things in a kind of cut through, if it works?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I just feel it. I feel it inside and I'm like, yeah, I know it can come out. And you can imagine all the builders, they like think I'm totally off my head. But
I think you're lucky to be alive. I've never seen a development quite like this. Claire's doing the entire thing without a plan, a schedule, or even a breakdown of budget. I think before you proceed any further, I would get hold of a structural engineer who can look at what you've done already, check that it's all okay, and then move on to some future plans. Claire may be living in a house that is structurally unsound. If she doesn't get it checked out, it might not just be her profit that's in danger. Claire bought the property 4 years ago for £185,000. Her budget is £50,000, and she wants to sell for £400,000. This would give her £165,000 profit, but I think that's very ambitious. There are other houses that are just like this from the outside that are sold for 300, and you're trying to get 400,000 for this one. But the other houses that have sold are 3 bedrooms, and this is only 2 bedrooms. And whilst there is a cool chic market that may well want a cool chic house, it does have 1 less bedroom, and it's still the same square footage. And
Sarah, I agree totally with what you're saying. I have taken walls out myself, and I thought, right, I'm devaluing the property because I've only got 2 bedrooms now. But I've taken the bull by the horns, and this house is a piece of art to me, so I'm prepared to take that risk.
But it's a big risk. Claire's already spent over half her budget, and she's still got a very long way to go. What's more, she's still got a lot of ideas she wants to test out, and not all of them make complete sense.
There's going to be a circular bed in the middle here.
In the middle of the room?
Yeah. So your head's not near the wall where the wiring's going. I've designed this area. If I took these boards up, you'd see beautiful laid recycled newspaper with crystals underneath here. No wiring whatsoever. I've designed it for sleep on this position. And that's the only thing that I'm not flexible with.
I'm not convinced that having a circular bed in the middle of the room and that being the only place a bed can be is that sensible, because I think lots of people who buy this might not want to have a circular bed in the middle of the room.
They can have a square one then in the middle of the room.
To me, this is madness. Claire's invested over £200,000 in this house. But while crystals under the floor and a bed in the middle of the room might help her sleep better, they're not going to help actually sell this property. Across London, astronomer Julie Cave and lecturer J.P. Fraser have their own ideas about the perfect development.
I think eco-development has a sort of image which perhaps isn't always helpful, which is that sort of hippie woolly hats and sandals thing. So we're hoping to be able to show that it's possible to get a chic, contemporary, luxury even finish whilst using reclaimed, recycled, non-toxic, natural materials.
The problem is, I'm not sure they've chosen the right property in the right location. Surbiton is a conservative London suburb known for its commuters but not for its eco-radicalism. And as for the flat itself, and it probably wouldn't be considered by lots of people to be highly desirable in terms of architecture, but I mean, I personally quite like it. And the refurbishment, you're very keen on trying to make it as environmentally friendly as possible. Is that for the commuter market, or is it just because you believe in that?
We are both keen to reduce our impacts on the environment. It's absolutely imperative that we all do this. So,
if you can manage to keep this development environmentally friendly and bring it in on your tiny budget, I'll be seriously impressed. The problem is that not all eco-solutions are cheap, and JP and Julie have got a very tight budget. They bought the flat for £190,000. Their budget is only £15,000, and they're hoping to sell for £235,000, which would give them a £35,000 profit. But I don't think eco-credentials alone are going to guarantee such a price. This flat needs to look contemporary and chic if they're to attract the market they want. In Bow, fortunately, Claire Harrigan has pulled in a structural engineer to check all the work she's done.
Hi.
Claire.
Come in.
Right.
Claire, nice to meet you.
Oh. You say this wall wasn't low bearing. This was never like this to start off with.
No. The whole staircase is changing.
Thank heavens for that.
So
None of this complies with the building regs.
it doesn't.
Show me upstairs.
You're giving me a heart attack.
I'm not saying there will be a fire, but if there is a fire, the whole thing's going to go up in one go. Doing any structural alteration to any building without professional help, madness.
In Bow, East London, Claire Harrigan has spent 4 years trying to make a healthy home free from today's toxins. But it hasn't exactly been what I'd call plain sailing.
She hasn't got a prayer of getting this through building control, or, in my opinion, selling it to anybody.
Forced into building a new wall, Claire's losing time, but at least now the house is safe. Claire wants this project to make money, so hopefully she's rethought her plan to have just one bedroom on the first floor, where there's plenty of space for a more profitable two.
There's going to be a wall here with a sliding door, so you can either have it as a 3-bed or as a 2-bed.
Why not just put a stud rack in?
Because then it stops the flexibility of the space.
The mechanism for sliding doors is terribly expensive, so you'd have to be spending thousands of pounds to achieve this look well.
I don't even want to enter this conversation.
So you want to spend that?
I spend sleepless nights listening to you going over and over and over in my head. In fact, I dread you coming here. Not because I don't know, because afterwards I'm like, oh God, you've got to listen. Do I do this? Do I do that? They're buying a healthy house. They're buying a concept. They're not buying 3 bedrooms. They're buying a space.
To me, it doesn't have a lot to do with healthy, what you're doing here. It has more to do with your spirituality, your personal spirituality. And I mean, having a sliding wall isn't healthy. It's just that you would prefer it like that, and you personally like it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's nothing to do with it being healthy.
The space is bigger.
The question is this house for her or her potential market?
This is going to be the shower here.
Yes.
And how do you get round? Do you squidge around? Oh, you walk over
Yeah.
it?
This is going to be a happy shower. It's going to come out further.
Right.
And then there's going to be 2 light boxes either side for seasonal affective disorder. So in the winter, when you're sad, you can have a shower and get happy. So you're laughing already in the happy shower.
No, I'm laughing at the shower. Now, how long do you have to stay in the happy shower to not be sad?
It's actually half an hour you have to be in front of it.
I have to say, this is more, to me, about being a spa than it is a healthy home. And it certainly isn't remotely environmentally friendly if you're talking about being healthy, and healthy is environmentally friendly. Having the shower running for half an hour while you get happy from the light.
You wouldn't have the shower on.
Oh, you just have the lights on?
Yeah.
So you'd have to stand...
You could do skin brushing for 15 minutes and wash for 15 minutes.
Claire is convinced these healthy ideas will make her house worth £100,000 more than her neighbours. We don't see eye to eye, but perhaps some good old-fashioned market research is the answer.
Do you know what a healthy home is?
No. I've got no idea what a healthy home is.
Would you pay more for a house that had used natural paints and natural products?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. Probably not.
£100,000 more?
No.
A little bit more. 10, 20,000.
Maybe 20 or 30 grand extra, I think.
Step out the happy shower and you are just full of joy and ready to work.
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
You'd pay more for that?
Yeah.
Happy shower.
Happy shower.
You
heard of that?
Yeah, probably one. You mean the one where I have a shower with my wife?
So Claire's £100,000 extra looks way off the mark.
What do you reckon to all that?
No, it's positive. It's very positive for me because they were interested in healthy homes and they didn't think that it was such a weird concept.
I think the realistic price for your house is going to be around £315. Would you be happy with that?
Maybe 330, 350, in
Right.
between that sort of bracket.
But you'd be happy with going for somewhere between 300 and 350 rather than the 400?
Yeah, I don't want to price myself out of the market.
At last, Claire's starting to think realistically. She's lucky that because she bought the property so long ago, she can drop £50,000 from her asking price and still make a profit. That is, if she gets things moving and sticks to budget. In Surbiton, JP Fraser and Julie Cave want to turn this grotty 2-bedroom flat into a chic contemporary pad for the young commuter market. They're determined to prove they can do it in an environmentally friendly way, and one of their main strategies is to use reclaimed and recycled materials.
Wow.
And slate.
Oh, this is perfect.
There's enough of these to do the shower.
Yeah.
This is recycling when it really works well.
But if they're to attract the design-savvy market they're targeting, they have to make sure this property looks great. But with a growing horde of other people's cast-offs, the early signs aren't promising.
We got an entire office worth of stuff, 2 rooms worth of wooden flooring. I bought an entire kitchen for £100. The sink, oven, extractor fan, worktop, a temporary fridge freezer, a bath at the back that was £20.
So how much have you paid for all of this?
Everything that's in here is probably £200 at the most.
And you have got quite an eclectic bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
And considering that you are trying to appeal to city slickers, I think you have to be very careful it doesn't sort of miss its market.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're well aware of that, and we're trying to collect things by various themes rather than just collect absolutely everything.
Julie and JP have to tread carefully. Being eco-friendly isn't going to sell this place on its own. Getting the look right is key. Currently the flat is dark and dingy with a pokey kitchen, separate lounge, bathroom and 2 bedrooms. The plan is to remove the wall between the lounge and kitchen to create an open-plan living area, which will make it much brighter, and install a recycled kitchen and bathroom. They've got a tiny budget of just £15,000. They're living on site and doing all the work themselves, starting by removing the wall between the sitting room and kitchen.
Oops, sorry, that's right.
What have you done to my kitchen?
Do you want to go?
No.
While JP gets on with the structural work, it's Julie's job to source materials.
LED lighting.
More and more people are waking up to sustainability, so information is out there. Finding it can take time, but here are some simple basics. To be more eco-friendly, use good insulation, an efficient water heating system, and low-energy light bulbs. To conserve water, install a dual flush system, a water-efficient shower, and AA-rated appliances. All these things can be easily found on the high street. Remember that everything that gets shipped uses energy, so if you buy locally, then so much the better. Second-hand items can be great, and there are lots of trendy salvage yards out there, but just make sure you get the look right for the house. Finally, any materials you use should be from a sustainable resource and as natural and non-toxic as possible. Incorporating eco-credentials into your development doesn't necessarily have to mean too much extra work or expense. But JP wants to go one step further.
What exactly is this?
This is a product I've been working on for the past 6 or 7 years now. It's got the awful name of eco-aspirator. Essentially, it's a way of using plants and organisms to improve air quality.
How much does this cost to build, this?
That particular one was about £2,000, but...
It's perhaps a little bit off the wall for the sort of people who might end up buying this flat.
But don't you think it might help to sell the flat in the same way that a garden can help to sell a property?
No, because you can't sit in it and drink wine.
Spending £2,000 on an eco-aspirator is not good use of a tiny budget. Whatever type of development you're doing, the key rule remains the same. Work out which features will add value and which won't. In Bow, Claire still hasn't taken that on board. Instead of focusing on finishing this development in the 8 weeks she's got left, she's coming up with more harebrained schemes.
So what is the plan down here?
Kitchen, living area, sunken dining area, and then a big glass sheet to let in the light.
Right, so what do you mean exactly by a sunken dining area?
Well, let me show you. You sit down here with a little dig out for your legs. The floor comes up, table, eat.
From your point of view, you just need to get this project finished and done. And that you should always take the easiest route. And it's not the easiest route to have a sunken table. We need to formulate a plan as to how to actually get this project finished for you, because I think otherwise... I just see you kind of drifting a bit.
Yeah, I do.
You need to be brought back.
I get bored. I get bored so easily.
You need to be controlled.
I do. I need to be dominated, Sarah.
It seems a little bit of focus is called for.
So this is your schedule: styling, staircase, install kitchen, 32nd birthday, party and finish.
Yeah.
You're laughing then, really. First of all, the most important thing, you've got to work out your layout once and for all. And once you've decided, you cannot change your mind. That is it. Absolutely final, done and dusted. Second, you need to do an electrical specification and your plumbing specification, because you can't work those out until you've worked out what the layout's going to be. OK, so then you need to write a budget. Once you've worked it out, I think you should employ a builder and you should go away. Just for a couple of weeks and get them.
No.
Because
I don't trust anyone.
I wouldn't normally say this to somebody who's doing a development. You might see a big sort of leap forward if you weren't here kind of with new ideas all the time.
I don't trust a builder to come in here. They're probably going to leave coffee cups and fag butts in between the floorboards.
Claire certainly knows what she wants.
I'm going to prove everyone wrong and do this in 7 weeks. Where there's a will, there's a way.
In Surbiton, JP and Julie are doing a better job of keeping their tiny budget under control by relying on cheap reclay materials. But bargain hunting is taking longer than expected, which means instead of being completed, this development is nowhere near.
It's not quite finished, is it? Not quite. If you use your imagination, though, you can see this wonderful bespoke kitchen installed.
Yeah.
And a nice sort of run along here and a breakfast bar there and floor-to-ceiling cupboards. So we're not having too many wall units because we thought that would make it look too...
So you're having a bespoke kitchen? Are you having it built?
We're reusing the units that are here, but in a bespoke way.
Right.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a forester, and we're getting the worktops from him. Should be 2-inch thick, solid beech planks.
Beautiful. I think you just have to make sure that the doors open really beautifully, the drawers run really nicely, because you're asking £250,000 for this flat. In my experience, for the sort of market you're appealing to, the kitchen and the bathroom are absolutely crucial to get right. Because you're not trying to sell a cheap flat, are you? You don't want someone to walk in and think it's some odd nose.
Well, this is the idea. I mean, half of what we're trying to do is to show that you can produce a kind of chic, contemporary finish using recycled materials.
And that's easier to get wrong than right. So I want to show them an award-winning development that's combined top-notch eco-credentials with stylish design.
And this flat is chic and contemporary, and it's in the commuter belt, so it's similar to your flat, but it's also built from sustainable products and it's eco-friendly. But I think the difference with this flat is that this was designed and then they source the materials, whereas I think you source materials and then you're working out where you can put them in the flat. And I think that there is a danger that you won't have a really fantastic end product like this if you approach it from that direction.
That's the risk. It might seem that way, but it's not quite so haphazard in reality. We've been very careful to select materials.
Is this the sort of look that you're planning on going for?
Yeah, definitely. Loads of white walls, loads of wood, neutral, natural colours, and then splashes of colour through artwork.
I think the way you dress it is really important, so I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
We look forward to showing you.
Meanwhile, Claire's finding her new schedule hard to stick to.
This house is like climbing up a mountain. I'm I'm almost there, but it's always the last 5k on a mountain that kills you.
In Bow, East London, Claire Harrigan has finally accepted the need for a schedule and is determined to finish her healthy house in 8 weeks. With so much left to do, and now only £15,000 left with which to do it, she needs to focus and prioritise.
I just saw these LEDs and it's like those pair of shoes that you really want, you aren't having them. This is the beautiful little light.
They're very nice, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm going to use 10 of these either side of the floor. 10 down there and 10 down there.
I gotcha. Are they a particular colour?
I wanted to use orange in the toilet because it stimulates the lymphatic system and lets you release everything quicker.
Oh, well, that's handy to know.
I wanted to create a colour-changing shower. Let's say in the morning you need some energy, you'd turn it on to red and you'd probably put your back to it and you'd get all the red wavelengths going subtly into your body and while you're showering.
You've thought about this, haven't you?
I think my budget's increased already.
It certainly has. She's now got just £12,000 left, but still she keeps spending. Next, it's solar panels.
Can you come down from there, please? Claire.
Yeah?
Come down from there, you're not clipped on.
Like it when you tell me off.
With just £4,000 left, Claire's budget has hit crisis point. I'm hoping a visit to a healthy development that's really successful might help her focus.
It's got lots of light, big windows, so there's lots of light. It's got no carpets, so it has less dust mites. There's an underfloor heating, and that gives better air quality. And it's using natural materials and natural paints. Your development is as well, but it's just that you're going off on a tangent with it. Did you have a concept at the beginning? Because I'm not sure you've ever really worked out what your concept is, have you?
My concept was looking at how space affects mind, body and spirit.
The last time I saw you was 7 weeks ago, and you swore to me that you were going to prove me wrong and be finished by now. Will you just try and finish it and not have any more wild and amazing ideas?
Yes, I'll try.
In Surbiton, JP and Julie had hoped to do all the work themselves, but after some success in the kitchen, JP's called in help.
As you can see, I've attempted plastering, but very soon realised that I couldn't do it.
I mean, what about this section of the bathroom?
That's going to be a walk-in shower, so we're still trying to find a reclaimed shower door, so we don't know exactly how big it is, so I can't put the frame in yet.
Okay, you don't make it easy for yourself.
No, I know.
JP's right to get in help, because the success of most developments is down to the quality of the finish. Something Julie seems to have forgotten.
This was something that someone no longer had any use for in Oxfam. It cost me £3.50 and it's very nice material. It's not quite long enough, so I've been experimenting to see if it looks okay with a piece of something else on the bottom and maybe some tab tops on the top.
I am going to actually refuse to allow you to use this in this development.
We like this lilac and everybody else likes this lilac, but I understand what you mean. I know we've got to get it as neutral and as expensive looking as possible. So when the rest of the room comes together, we will make a decision as to whether or not it looks right.
I think that you need to wake up to the reality of this development, and that is that you're trying to sell a 2-bedroom flat in Surbiton for £250,000. And if you're going to achieve that, you're going to have a really beautifully designed look and not have odds and ends from places.
And we won't put anything in that sort of like screams this is cheap and tacky.
I really want you to succeed on this. Therefore, I actually forbid you from using this. That's the long and short of it.
We'll see. We might disobey you.
Now determined to get the look right, JP's found an eco-design fair where he's hoping to find stylish and eco-friendly products to finish their flat off properly. Eco-design is fast becoming big business, and all the pieces here are made from recycled or sustainable materials.
I'm very inspired coming here. It's been absolutely wonderful to see the quality of craftsmanship and also to see that eco-design can be chic, luxury, sexy, you know, all these things. Definitely be incorporating some of this furniture in the flat, and I might even steal some of the ideas and have a go myself.
I hope he does, because they really can't afford to do anything other than get the finish on their development spot on. Over in Bow, it's been 4 weeks since Claire's visit to the healthy home, and she's finally got moving. She's got electricians working on the wiring, and she's just decided to have underfloor heating installed. But this latest decision means ripping up the tiles she's only just put down.
I want to make my concept strong and a blueprint for future living, so sometimes I have to go backwards and redo things.
But Claire's big push isn't without its own problems. On the ground floor, the kitchen and staircase have both gone, while the new ones are nowhere to be seen. It doesn't make for an easy life.
This is my home. This is the only floor that I'm living on. This is my dining table. I work here. All my filings here, my clothes. This is the kitchen with the fruit. I feel ill from not having a kitchen after 6 weeks. When you live on site, it's a nightmare. You cannot function properly because everything's up in the air.
In a desperate bid to get this place finished, Claire finally does employ more help. Things are speeding up, but that comes at a cost.
The budget's all gone, so I had to go back to the bank manager to get more money, and it's still not finished, but I'm prepared to soldier on.
Claire's only option now is to finish as quickly and as simply as possible. If she makes no profit, this new business venture is simply not sustainable.
I don't know what to say, really. I need a rocket up my arse.
In Surbiton, 3 months behind schedule but only £1,700 over budget, JP and Julie have finished. They set out to prove they could develop in an eco-friendly but stylish way, and although it's been a delicate balancing act, they've done well. The cramped kitchen and sitting room have been knocked through to make a light and spacious living area, which should really appeal to the professional commuter market. And the bedroom has been transformed by the non-toxic and mercifully neutral coloured paints.
And this room looks great, it's got lovely furniture in it, but actually you haven't really done that much in it, have you?
The most eco-friendly thing to do is to do nothing at all,
Absolutely.
other than change the light bulbs over to energy-efficient light bulbs.
It's good to not see lilac curtains, see those ones up. That's good.
The recycled and natural materials in the bathroom create a quirky feel I personally quite like. And the loo, shower and boiler are all energy efficient and powered by solar panels. The newly opened up sitting room has a recycled hardwood floor, lights made from polystyrene shavings fitted with energy efficient bulbs, and a recycled fire surround, all stylish and bound to appeal to the modern commuter.
Knocking through here is just fantastic and transformed it, really.
We felt that anyone living around here would like a nice entertaining space and somewhere that you'd walk into and it would just be wide open and they'd just go wow as soon as they walked in.
Yeah, so especially the young professional market, which is the market that you're aiming for. It does look very simple and beautifully designed actually in here, so it's helped by the lovely furniture as well.
Yeah, we love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is it better than you expected or not?
Yeah, it's almost a shock to get up in the morning and walk in here. It's like, there's this other house here. It's very strange.
The only place the eco theme has intruded on the tasteful look is in the kitchen.
I think what's clever is that you've managed to use pretty much entirely recycled products in this kitchen. But I personally feel there's too many types of wood in here. You've got a different wood on the worktop, different wood on the units, different wood over on the sitting room floor. And you have to be careful about using too many woods, because it looks a bit like that's what came along, so that's what you stuck in, rather than that you designed it, intended it, and then created it.
We personally love the two-tone colour schemes. They're both gorgeous woods, the beech and the elm, and everybody that's come in and seen it has absolutely adored it. So I'm confident that it is right for the market that we're aiming for.
But the agents need to share her confidence if they're to get the £235,000 they need to make their £35,000 profit.
Spacious apartment. I think in particular obviously the lounge open plan with the kitchen area.
This is a good size.
Very nice limestone floor. Looks very good quality.
Good size room. Nice and neutral, obviously.
People are going to love this reclaimed wood top. And I really like this slate floor. It's very popular at the moment.
I do think the chic finish throughout the whole of the property is going to be the overriding factor why buyers are going to be mostly interested.
I value this property at £240,000.
I'd value this property at £220,000.
I would value this property at £220,000.
We've had agents round and the average valuation's come in at £226,000.
I think it could achieve more than that. I personally wouldn't sell it at that price.
Wouldn't you?
I don't think I'd be disappointed with, as long as we make some profit, we haven't made a loss, that's fine, because we've learned so much. We've made excellent relationships with all the suppliers.
It's been a great experiment.
If Julie and JP sell for £226,000, they would make a £19,000 profit, which isn't bad for a small project like this. But it depends on finding a buyer.
I really like the decor, the sofas. Love the floor, actually. I know my wife would be happy with that.
I really like the open plan feel. It'd be great for entertaining, really good use of space.
I really love this room. It's nice and modern, but with a sort of twist.
Kitchen worktops I love, I think they're really, really unusual.
Best room in the house, spend a lot of time in the bathroom, and it's what gets me out of bed in the morning. It's great to have the separate shower.
It's perfect size, perfect location, eco-friendly, which is a plus for me. I'm definitely thinking about putting an offer in.
Has it all been worth it?
Absolutely, yeah. We set out to show that you can do a renovation that's not going to compromise the environment.
And it's healthy.
Yeah, and it can look good, and it doesn't have to cost too much either.
We've learned a lot, and there's been a lot of interest in it, so we've achieved what we set out to do.
Yeah.
And any profit we make is an added bonus.
I think you've done really, really well sticking to your guns. Overall, it's a massive success. Well done.
Thank you.
Although one viewer did put in an offer, Julie and JP remain convinced they can get more and have decided not to move out just yet. Meanwhile, over in Bow, Claire still has a long way to go.
If your house in your main area where you're living's a mess, then you're going to be a mess.
In Bow, East London, Claire Harrigan has been on a painful, lengthy mission to create a healthy home.
So 5 years after you started, it's finally finished. It doesn't actually look that different to the other houses.
Beauty comes from within, Sarah.
So it's inside that it's all amazing.
All amazing, singing and dancing.
Fantastic.
Claire has literally turned this house upside down. Where once was a garage and a bedroom, there's now an open-plan living area, flooded with the natural light she was so desperate for. On the first floor, the old kitchen and living room have made way for a bedroom and yoga space with crystals under the floorboards. And on the top floor, there's a large master suite with its light-infused happy shower and that carefully positioned central bed. It looks great, but, and it's a big but, this has been the longest and most chaotic development I've ever seen.
I mean, as a first impression, this is seriously, seriously great down here.
Oh, I'm amazed that you're being nice.
I'm always nice. I think
no,
you're
but
a bit
you did give me a
batty,
lot of stick in the beginning.
I gave you stick, really, mainly because of your method, not what you were trying to achieve, and I think that I absolutely admire everything you're trying to do, but it's just the process that you went through.
Claire chopped and changed her mind far too often in her attempt to create a healthy home. She has used non-toxic paints, natural woods and protected wiring, but her vision has always seemed a bit muddled.
I love the effect of the polished concrete floor, but it doesn't strike me as particularly healthy. Actually, in its powder form, it's quite unpleasant cement. Why did you go for it particularly?
Easy maintenance, hard wearing, you're not going to get stiletto marks in the floor, it's not going to get damaged.
So it wasn't due to that it's healthy?
Yeah, it's healthy because it's seamless.
Right,
and
so
you're not going to get the dirt. When I was doing this, I was always torn between health, eco. I had so many boxes to tick that sometimes I could only tick one.
Because really, environmentally, it would be better to have a wooden floor than a concrete floor.
Yeah, but do you feel healthier here?
Well, no, not particularly. Do you feel healthier?
Not after all that building work.
On the first floor, Claire accepted that 2 bedrooms would add value. But rather than simply split the rooms with a stud wall on a flight of fancy, she divided them by creating an elaborate wardrobe and expensive sliding door.
These 2 rooms were a bit of a battleground for us, weren't they?
Yeah, come on then!
I do think this is a good medium ground. I do think that having a divide is much, much better than no divide. It's just that it has cost you more time and more money, and has it actually added any value to the house?
This is ideal living. You've got the light, you've got the darkness in here when you want to sleep. If you want to use that as a bedroom, you can. If you want to use it as a nursery, then you're near your baby. An office, you've got perfect light coming in. What more does a niche buyer want?
Unfortunately, I worry that Claire's niche buyer will be hard to find.
Up here, I think that a lot of the mass market appeal has been lost with the clay plaster on the walls and with the sleeping platform, because, to be honest, I think that there will be some people who just want to come in and skim the walls and put a normal bed in here.
They might be buying this house and it's niche market, it's not mass.
But you're better off having a healthy home that appeals to the niche market and the mass market in case you don't find the one buyer.
Despite the issues with the first floor, on the top floor, her master suite is much more successful. It's a luxurious space and the LED lighting looks gorgeous. But as a development, financially, has it been worth it? In the 5 years it's taken Claire to convert, the value would have risen all on its own.
Some of the things that you've put into this development, like the LED lighting and the solar panels and the happy shower, you've got a lot of amazing finishes in here, but they came at a high price. I mean, let's talk money. You spent a fortune on this, didn't you?
74,000.
That's almost 50% more than the £50,000 she'd planned. But because Claire did never write a detailed budget, it was hard to keep spending under control. In fact, her building work cost £29,550. Her plumbing and heating, £10,000. Electrics and lighting, £13,000. Her kitchen and bathrooms came in at £10,700. Staircases came in at £5,750. And fees at £5,000, making a total of not £50,000, but £74,000. Now we really need to know if it's worth the £400,000 she hoped for.
Lovely finish, isn't it? I really like the polished concrete floors.
This is a designer house. This is for someone who wants something very, very original.
I'm assuming this used to be the garage, and I think she's made a good space, actually.
Oh my God, this is wonderful.
I'm not too sure about the bamboo.
My purchasers are going to love this house.
Double bedroom, not a big double.
Oh my goodness, I love the ceiling.
What have we got here? Energise, release. Release.
This is wild. This is absolutely wild.
I value this property at £375,000.
I value this property at £380,000.
I would value this property at £350,000.
How much would you like it to be worth?
400.
And would you sell it for less?
I don't know.
Okay, because we have had 3 valuations. One did come in at 350, One came in at 375 and one came in at 380. So the average of those valuations is £368,000. So you'd make £109,000 as a profit from this development, which is a lot of money. And the only depressing thing is that if you hadn't done anything to this house at all, it would now be worth around £330,000. So you would have made a profit of £145,000 anyway, even if you hadn't done anything at all to it.
By spending £74,000 refurbishing this house, Claire has ended up £36,000 worse off.
The estate agents can take a walk because I will be selling this as my concept, in my way. End of.
Claire is confident she'll find a buyer who shares her concept and will be prepared to pay more. Let's hope she does.
The entrance is quite nice anyway for a start.
Well, it's different. Very nice.
Must be control the electric somewhere down the way. Oh yeah, lovely chair.
Oh yeah. Just need to do with some handles.
It doesn't look like an ex-garage space to me. It looks like it's been purpose-built.
Look at that shower. I love that shower.
Second bedroom, yeah. Or whatever.
Oh look, it's gone red now. Oh, it's green. That's great. Oh, that's nice. I like that one.
I'm not so sure I would place that bed in that position.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Fantastic. So you can divide the two rooms anyway.
Beautiful place. Beautiful.
I didn't think it would be quite as big up here.
Although the viewers love the house, Claire can't make a living developing in this way.
I think the point is you've made a lovely house. It looks great, it is healthy, it has lots of environmental issues that you've addressed. But if you'd done it quicker and for less money and hadn't changed your mind so much, it would also have a profit in it, and you need it to be profitable.
Yeah, you're right.
And if it is profitable, then you can spread your word further, faster.
This 5-year journey has been an interesting experiment for Claire, and I hope that one day she can reuse some of the lessons she has learnt.
If you want to develop in an ecological way or a healthy way, then nothing should stop you having a go. Done well, it can benefit you and benefit the environment. But like any business, property development needs to be sustainable. And to do that, you need to make a profit and have a product that people will pay money for.